Okay, so welcome to SEO Week 2. Just a little header in here. I just turned on the recording. And the most important thing that I needed to understand in the beginning when I was getting involved with online marketing, that I had a very hard time. And it's not like me. I'm very analytical, very technical, and I understand stuff very easily, usually along this line. But I had a hard time grasping the concept of keywords and keyword usage. And right now, I think that probably one of the most important things in the world, not just the online marketers, but the advertisers, to news agencies, it doesn't matter what topic you come up with, whether it's a business thing, investing, this keyword thing is so important because everybody finds information online through search. Now, search is you can say to anybody, have you gone to Google? And they absolutely know what that means. That's not a foreign word any longer. And I want to make the disclaimer here that when I use the word Google, I don't mean just Google. I had a few comments last week with people saying to me, well, how come you only use Google? There's other things there. I don't use just Google. But Google is a term that I can use instead of having to reel them all out. Google, Bing, Yahoo. You know, there's so many Ask Jeeves. There's so many different search engines out there that provide information. So the Google term doesn't mean that my entire foundation is built around Google. It just means simply that I'm using that term to relate to search, keywords, and moving around with information on the internet. So everything we do is driven around keywords. And when I got started, I believed that all the keywords I should use, and I was told that what you want to do is to get inside of the person's head, and once you get in there, think about what they would be asking. Think about what it is they would want to know. And so, you know, it's very simple in online marketing business that we gravitate to terms like work from home, make money now. And those terms are all great search terms, except there's 8 billion people that use those search terms, and they don't become search terms that are good for us. So when you pick a term like that, and it's not like you can't use work from home or make money online. Those keywords are very dynamic, have huge followings, and you know, let's just take a look at that. You know, if I put up the let me go to the keyword tool. Sorry, if I go to the keyword tool and I type in a keyword like work from home, you're going to see that I can get a lot of let's do our global searchers and get this number up here. Okay, if I wanted to do homework or work from home, I could have 1.5 million impressions every month. Now that's a massive number, and that's the kind of a number that generates traffic on the internet. The problem is that if you look at the competition bar, everybody else is wanting that word as well. And that makes it a difficult word for us. Now, there is a way to own the word work from home, and that is to buy it. You'll never get there in SEO ranking because you can't possibly compete with some of the things that are going out there. I shouldn't say the word never because that's not fair. It's not likely that you're going to run to the top in those kinds of keywords because there's so many powerful people that use that keyword. There's so many sites that have that in their domain name. So it just makes it a little bit harder for you. So work at home, while it is a thought that people are thinking about and it fits the topic of get inside people's heads and think about what they're doing, it does not serve a good purpose for us simply because we are trying to find keywords that we can afford. Now, I can guarantee you if I wanted to go out and I wanted to pay $4.50 every time somebody typed in work for home, if I was willing to bid for that keyword and pay $4.50 every time somebody clicked on that keyword, I could get myself up on the front page and I could function. But that model does not become cost effective because keywords at the price of $4.50 just doesn't make it happen. What you want are keywords that you can get anywhere from 25 cents to probably 95 cents, or even $1.05 in the very beginning as you start to use the keyword and get going with it. And I'm not going to go into that. Now, there's no question in my mind that this keyword stuff is the most important thing for an online marketer. And there's no question in my mind that this keyword thing is the most difficult thing for any online marketer to understand. And that's the purpose of what today is to try to simplify this down a little bit so that you have a chance to understand what this is. If I could show you my bank account and show you the amount of money I wasted thinking I knew what I was doing with keywords, you'd be looking at me and want to put a microscope on my head to see if there's anything in there. I'm very disappointed I did that. It was because of lack of knowledge, and it's the one thing that I wanted to make sure that other people didn't do that were following or working with me. So enough said about that. My intent here is to provide you with some understanding about keywords so that we can function in the keyword world. All right, so keywords drive everything there is. Every single aspect of your marketing derives from the use of keywords, and without them you fail. And Google does not necessarily mean that that's exactly what I'm doing. Now, we talked about these last week, but I just want to go through them one more time to make sure that you understand some of the simple basics of keyword research and understanding what keywords are. Short tail is a keyword that's usually 2 words or less. See spot is a short tail keyword. A long tail keyword is where we add more words to the keyword so that we kind of separate ourselves away from everybody else. See spot, run, and play is much longer as a keyword than just see spot. So short tail and long tail are 2 key things. We are focused on long tail, and I kind of put some stars so that when you look at this document later, maybe that'll remind you. Maybe I should put up here stars equal priority. Okay. All right. So now that we have 3 different kinds of keywords that we use. One is broad match, which is see spot, run, and play. And that means that any of the words in here, any one of these words in here, can trip a search. And a good example is for us just to come back and look at the one I did. Work from home. We'll set up all kinds of different things. Home jobs, jobs at home, home office. Those obviously aren't necessarily things we want to deal with. At home work. Let me see if I can find one that's crazy. I guarantee you there's tons here that are, just off the charts. Right now we're still getting all the normal. All right, telecommuting. How that gets in there, I don't know, except that that's a keyword. That's why you'd work from home. And so that's what happens when you type in a broad match term. You get all kinds of results, not really pertaining to what we want. So what they did was they came up with different kinds of search terms. We have broad match, anything matches. We have phrase match, which means we put quotes on it, and any word with the phrase that I have in quotes gets tripped. So when we come back and look at that one, now we have work from home, and I just add the phrase. And what I've actually done is I can click over here. You can't see that. I can actually put it now in quotes, and I can now search with just that term. And most of the terms that we're going to get, here's our work from home term, and you can see that for people that just use it in that form without all the other words, there's 1 million searches a month. Obviously really cool for us. Homework is in there. I don't know why. Again, these are related searches. It doesn't show just these. If I only wanted to show closely ideas are related to my search term, then I could add the click box up here. Now I'm only going to see searches that have that term in the keyword. So these are a little more relative. Again, we still have 823,000. We have very high competition here. If I want to look at lower competition, I click on the competition column, and you can see for this keyword here, they refer to it as high competition. There's not a lot of searches on it, but there's a lot of people that are using it. So this is a very highly competitive keyword. There's our low competition Google work from home scam. Let me tell you right now, don't ever use a keyword that has the word Google in it. Google picks up, that's just like an automatic slap to use that keyword. So never use the word Google in any kind of a keyword. I'm glad that popped up there. Google hiring work from home. So you just don't want to use that word. It's a trademark work. They probably won't let you use it anyway, but just in case you thought of trying, stay away from it. Okay, so let's go back to our little cheat sheet here. And you can see phrase match allows any keyword that has that term in it. And then we have exact match, where the only thing will match is that exact keyword. We've already seen that, and we're going to get very few matches that come up. I always work with phrases, and I always work with terms. I always shut this off, so I'm only dealing with things that relate around that phrase. Work from home for mums. So I'm really getting some pretty good keywords that work on the theory of what I'm trying to work with. Okay. The other thing is low competition and high competition. This is the other thing you really have to take a look at. So even if I find a keyword that fits all the criteria I want, like work from home scam, if I click on that keyword in the search, it'll come up and it'll show me how many people are using that term in their someplace on their page or on their, this is how many views can come up for that. And again, that's just way too much competition. I want to stay where keywords where I have 13,000 or less people using that keyword on a page someplace. Now this is the part that makes it hard to find them, but this is the part that if you take the time to really, really, really work at finding your keywords, you're going to be rewarded when it gets to the point of being able to afford the keyword, getting traffic that's going to put you on the first page, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to generate traffic where we get onto the first page of Google that people have a chance to see and will click on it. All right. Now, I want to cover another little topic while I'm sitting here. I had a comment from one of my members over, I think it was yesterday, sometime this week. And in that conversation, somebody said to me, do you have a problem or do you have a thought about when you make a landing page that you have information that is crucial to the keyword? So I'm talking about my work at home business. But then while I'm there, I offer other information that allows people to possibly see other things to do. And from my point of view, when I looked at the issue of my landing page, this landing page, even though it encompasses itself around my home business organizer keyword and the work from home keywords and the things that I'm using here, this landing page just has too much information on it. And the normal buyer, when they click on a web page, they're there for about 4 or 5 seconds, and that's the amount of time that people have learned to take to evaluate if this page has the content that they were looking for. If it doesn't, they're gone. They're out of here. And that's my motivation for going over to this page, which when it comes here, they have very little to look at, they have very little to think about, and they understand that this page is about work from home, and there's just a little bit of text here for them to look at. If they want to watch some videos, they're available, but really this is what they're focused on. And my only question as I experiment with this is whether or not I have enough content here to let them know what this is really about. But again, I'm in experimental mode. I have a second experiment going, and this one is proving to be beneficial. I took the exact same page and I stuck my old golf video on the front of it. So now when they get there, if they'd like to watch my video and learn what this page is about, they can really get some feedback about this specific page and what the information possibly they're going to get for putting their name in this lead box. Okay, so let me take you and let's talk about a little bit of, hang on, let's talk about a little bit of keyword stuff. And I just want to go over here. Roy and Sherry, don't worry about it. Glad you're here and can help out. Up to this point, does anyone have any questions that you want to ask that I could answer on what we've talked about so far? If you stick them over, everybody has a question panel. If you stick it over in the question panel, then I can deal with it. I just want to make sure that we understand this keyword thing is crucial. And if there is nothing else you do, studying and reading about keyword research is paramount. You do not want to spend money on keywords that don't work for you or don't make sense or aren't profitable or don't get you higher page rankings, or you have to pay too much to get them on the high page rankings. You want to learn to be selective about your keywords and pick keywords that actually drive traffic. It might not drive as much, you might not get as many impressions, but you are going to get people that see your ad on the first page rather than the fifth page, and that's very critical. Okay, I don't see any questions here, so I'm going to move on and get to what I want to go to next. Now, what I did last week, afterwards, I decided to do a little work with my keywords so that I could come back and show you some actual keywords that I use and get some feedback on the keywords for you. So I went into Bing, and I just set up a basic little account over at Bing. I'm spending $250 for the month, and my intent was to go out and research and find some keywords that I felt had a chance of fulfilling what we talked about. I'm going to take a look at the home business assessment one. All right, and you can see some of the keywords that I've plugged in there. You can copy them if you want. It doesn't matter, but I don't think you need to do that. You can see the keyword that's generating right now. It's generating the most amount of results for me. It's this one right here, how to work from home. It has a very low, I shouldn't say low, it has not overwhelming traffic, but it has enough traffic to fit the criteria that we had, and that's what I picked. It was very low competition, and I'm able to rank high on that page for that keyword. In fact, if you went right now and you on your Google search engine typed how to work from home, there's a good chance that you would see one of my ads on that page. So that's a positive. All right, so what I've done, let's just look at this one keyword. What's happened here is it's only generated 3,702 impressions, and from that it's generated 18 clicks on the lead, and from the 18 clicks it's generated 5 conversions or 5 leads. Now the number's actually a little bit higher than that, but it does take time. Like today's numbers aren't in there, which I think there's already 3 or 4 leads on this same keyword that have come through. And I ran this so that some of them are landing on the video page and some of them are landing on the blank page, and that's how I know after probably 3 or 4 days, I'll know which one of those pages is actually converting the best. And I can tell you that today alone, the one that's coming in is the video one. I think the last time I looked earlier this morning, there were 2 leads this morning, and both of those leads came from the video page. So that's a real good sign to me that that video is helping what's happening here. And these are all long tail keywords. They're all phrase match. You can see that I can control what this is, phrase match, and the content is just content. And amazing to me, I haven't had a lot of impressions and a lot of conversions from content, but that's because they're keywords that aren't big keywords, and in content, it's anything matches. There is no phrase or exact or any that. Anything matches that fits in, and that's why my page really isn't even showing to get clicks from that. So the clicks are coming from here. All right, I think I can from largest to smallest. All right, this is a little easier for us to see. You know, most of the stuff's coming from phrase, and that's cool. That's cool. That's what I expect. Now over here, let's just take a look at the cost. For 5 leads, I've spent $14.86, which means I'm paying about $2.50 a lead. That's a very good price. A very good price. In most places, $5 is considered a reasonable cost for a lead, but for a lot of people here that don't have any leads whatsoever yet, to come in and use a keyword that's similar to this, or look for your own and have a little Bing ad or Microsoft Ad Center, you can come in here, and if you spent $15 to generate 5 leads, I think you'd be pretty happy with that. Now, I'm not suggesting anybody run out and do that yet, but I am suggesting that there are things that we can do to move it along. And this keyword research here, is fine. Even though I'm doing SEO, it's okay to drive traffic with paid advertising, and it's going to all factor in, but I just wanted to make sure that as we went through here, I was able to get an idea of what my keywords were doing if I was going to use them as my SEO keywords. All right, I got a question, so let me just check. Okay, so Roz is asking, I have a keyword account that's already set up with Bing. How do we change what's there, such as the ad, to go better with the keywords? This really isn't about that, but I'm just going to briefly show you how to edit any campaign you have. Your campaign is always up at the top here, and by going to the campaign Home Business Learning, which is what the primary name of the campaign is, then you have an ad group, and you go here. And then when you see your keywords, you have the simple button of add or edit keywords. And by going here, you can actually research keywords here. Now, I don't like the research that happens here as much as I like the research that happens here. And this is why I talk about Google, because I know that the keywords that's happening here are really fueling off of MSN or Bing's search engine. So I don't get the same kind of information back. I just don't feel as comfortable with it as I do with what I get out of Google AdWords. So I find them over here, and then I just simply come over and I copy and paste them into here. I make sure that they're phrase match by putting quotes on them, and then I simply add to the keyword list. And when I do that, I now have a keyword that's all set up. The other part of this, let me go back, is that in addition to keywords, I can also set ads. And so any ads I have are right here. And you can see the different ads I have. I have several ads that I'm running, all being split test. And I'll be able to come back and see which ones are generating the conversions. Want to work from home, this one has 3 conversions. You Can Work From Home has 2 conversions. And so those ads have more weight for me. They become better. I can also see what the CTR is, and so far these CTR rates are low in my opinion, so I'm not sure whether that goes with these less competitive keywords that happens like that, or whether it's just maybe my ads aren't good enough, and that's usually the primary reason for low CTR is that you don't have ads that the words in them are separating you from everybody else, and so I continually work on that. That's why we split test ads. Every single keyword, not every keyword, every single ad group. Let's go back, because again, if you haven't done this before, that would just be jibber jabber. This is your campaign. So this is my campaign, and I can have as many campaigns as I want. When I go into the campaign level, my next thing I have are ad groups. And each ad group focuses with just keywords that pertain to that ad group. So if I look at entrepreneurs, I have 2 keywords that I have that I just added this morning. I tested these over in my other ad group. I found that they were getting traffic, so I broke them out into their own so that I could write an ad that just related to that keyword. So entrepreneurs want wild, entrepreneurs want wow. We'll see how it goes, and whether people respond to that ad. It's just getting started, so I don't have any feedback for you there. But this is how we do it. So every campaign has ad groups, and each ad group uses a set of keywords that relate to the ad group name, and the ads that you write relate to the keywords that you're doing. So my ads deal around work from home and those kinds of concepts. While at the same time, if I go to my one of my other ad groups, MLM marketing, where I'm getting traffic and clicks from, I have keywords that relate to MLM, and I have ads that relate to MLM. So that's basically the concept of how this works. It's kind of advanced for what we're doing right now, but I'm trying to dumb it down so that everybody can get a handle on what I'm doing and think about it from that standpoint. Again, if you understand how this keyword thing works now, everything you do from this point fits together. Where if you charge in and you think, I know all of this, I can do all of this, this is Charlie, if he can do it, I can do it, which is what I did. then you're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to waste a lot of money. So you're much better off making sure you understand keywords. Go to eZine articles and read articles about selecting keywords. Just remember that a lot of people focus on these big keywords, expensive keywords that drive traffic. And my theory is we get less competitive keywords, less expensive keywords, and we drive traffic so we can get on the front page at a reasonable price, so that we're not spending everything in your savings account or your 401k to make this business happen. This is a different approach than a lot of people are going to teach. Okay, so I hope I haven't lost everybody with this conversation. If you feel a little lost by what I just did, again, just pop your hands up if there's something that you want me to just cover right here. I'd be willing to do that, although that's not where we're at right now. I just don't want to leave you on the trail, as Sherry used to put it. You can basically, I wanted to bring you here just to show you what I was doing with keywords and how this was working. To spend $14.86 for 5 leads that's a heck of a deal, believe me. Okay, CTR. I'm not going to talk about CTR right now. The term stands for click-through rate, and click-through rate means that if you have this number of impressions and this many people click on it, what's the percentage of this divided by that, and it gets here. A good click-through rate is going to be like 1.5, 2.4, and up from there. And when all of that clicks, and this generally, the clicks aren't in any relation to clicks, that generally relates to the impressions and the number of people that like your ad and click on it. If it's low, you keep working on your ad. That's the key. You keep working on your ad to find an ad that people are going to click on that relates to this keyword right here, because that's what they typed in. They have to see something at the header of the ad, and in these ads, these are the headers that they're looking for. This is the header, amazing work from home, and you can see, as we talked about, the ones that they're clicking on are the ones that they're going to want to work from home, and you can work from home. Those are generating the most traffic. It's not perfect because I'm really not happy with the CTR. The CTR of these are a little bit higher than it was overall, but still, it's just not acceptable. It's not what's going to make the business go. Okay. We're coming up on the time, and I want to cover a few more things, so stick with me here, and we'll probably go over just a little bit, but that's okay because I don't want to have this left as confusion. So let's just cover a few more things. The keyword research thing, I want to make sure that we understand that over here, when we're looking for keywords, that we want to find long tail keywords, 3 or more words, preferably 4 or 5. We want to always make sure that they're phrase match, and we want to make sure that they are low competition, and we want to make sure that they have 8,000 or more impressions. So when I look at a keyword like this here, this doesn't really qualify. The rules that I had originally say 3,000 or more, and I'm okay with that. That would make these keywords here available to us. I know it's coming. There it is. And so if we went with 3,000, that's fine. We can go here. But I have a feeling when I get over here to look at the competition, we're going to find it's out of our bounds, because using this scam term as a keyword is a very popular tactic for marketers, because it scares people and they think, man, I'm getting ready to do Carbon Copy Pro and I see the word scam next to it. I want to read what it is, and when they click there, they get a little blurb about how Carbon Copy Pro is terrible, and then why don't you come and see my program? And it's a trick to get people to leave where they were thinking about, go someplace else. So the word scam is a very powerful word for in a number of different areas. All right, so let's close that down and go back to where we were. Okay, so I think everybody understands this part here. The rules are very simple. I'll add the count from 3,000 or 4,000 up to 8,000 is the normal range we're going to be in. I'll add this when I get it posted up on the page. And as you find those keywords, you want to save them in a list. You want to add them. You just want to make sure you have these keywords, and you're continually looking for a keyword that either you can build a website around, or a keyword that you can function that's going to allow you to be close to the keyword that relates to your domain name or what the intent of your domain name is. So here we go. Let's do a little review. Here we were a week ago, very busy, very active, made me a little bit nervous. I spent a lot of time thinking about this, worked with Jenny and talked about it. We decided we needed to do a little bit of change here. So it became this. Again, this is very, very simple. Just so you know, again, whether it helps you or not, I'm not trying to sell anything because this is the program I use. But this little program here, let's see, I don't know if I can make it just a little bit smaller so you can see the whole screen. This program here is called BlueVoda, and it's on my blog. There's an affiliate link to it if you're interested in it. It allows you to host web pages for $7.95 a month, and it gives you unlimited domains, unlimited pages, unlimited blogs. It is the best thing I've ever seen. But the thing that's most important is when you're doing some design work, you get to do it all on the page like this, where I can move anything around that I want anywhere. I don't have to know HTML to get this placed on the page. I can take the book and I can put it up here just that easy. And when I save this out to the internet, that's exactly where the book is going to be. Most other things, you have to be able to go behind here and tell it where you want it, or build a table to place it in there, or break things into pieces. This program is incredible for new marketers that are willing to take some time. Their training is excellent. If you had any interest in doing this, it's very, very inexpensive to get into this. I think it's $97 for a year, and then you probably have like a charge of $7.95 a month that you pay for hosting your websites. So if you want to get into this, go to blog.charlesmontgomery.com, and under the tools section, you'll see the link here, and then do the tutorials. Just let them show you how to do it. This thing is so simple to build websites. So if you're frustrated or don't know how to do it, all the graphics here, everything I'm doing is built from BlueVoda. And the only other thing I'll show you since I went there is what I do when I'm trying to look for images to use on the internet. And what I do is I go to the Google search engine and I type in images of work from home, and then I put at the end PNG, which stands for a term that means that the background of the image is going to be clear. And when I do that, it's going to come up and click on images, and it's going to come up and it's going to show me all kinds of things I can use on my web page. Some of them are proprietary. You can't take them and use them, or you have to pay to use them. But there's a lot of things that aren't. So this little laptop with the money coming out of it, if you go over and look at my home business page, you can see it's right there. That's an image that I used because it was there. It was free. I could plug it in, and it looks professional. So this is where I go for images. And again, here's the term, images of work from home. And I put PNG at the end, and they give me images that I know that I can use that don't have a white box around them. You can see this one has a white box around it, and when I go to try to plug it in, the white box will be there. I don't want it. But you can also save it as a clear background, and I'm not going to go into that now because we don't have time. But I just want you to understand that I'm giving you one little thing in case you decide you're going to go out and do something during the week with BlueVoda. Okay, so let's shut this down. Sure you don't want to look at my email account. Any questions before we wrap this up? My whole purpose with this half hour today, and I'm about 5 or 10 minutes over now, which I don't like to be. Feel free to ask, can running Bing or Google ads have any influence on the organic page ranking of your website? Robin, it's probably not going to have any influence on the organic side because it doesn't really, it's not like you're getting backlinks or anything like that from it. You're just driving traffic, paid traffic, to a site. The only thing that really does that is proper keywords, because that's really what shows up in the organic listings and the paid listings is either a keyword you've paid for or a keyword you've earned the right to be higher up on the page. So that's why SEO is so critical. That's why it takes time, because you have to get the keyword so that it's very important. One other development that came up, and let me just see if it happens to be here. Yes, it is. Now, here's another thing that I like about BlueVoda is that you can see here that they keep you abreast of what's going on in the world of online marketing. And so Blue Voda puts out a lot of information, and they sent this article out that was really eye-opening to me, and it talks a lot about what we talk about. And it's that Google has just in the past week changed their algorithm, or the rules that they use to put somebody on the first page of a search engine. And if this page ever comes up, I'll just briefly explain what the page means. And basically what used to happen is if you had the word home business organizer as your domain name, you basically owned that keyword, and you could put that keyword up, and anybody, you would always be at the top. And what they've done is they found out that people use that as a practice to try to avoid earning the right to be at the top. And so they've made it so that it's not so easy to just make your domain name your primary keyword and think you're going to be at the top. What you have to be able to do is be able to add content that supports that keyword. You have to have time in the field. In other words, if you started a new website today, this website here, Home Business Organizer, has been around since the 1st of January. This is not going to rank as well as one that was here since the 1st of January of 2010. They have time in the field. They've earned the right to have a higher placement than I have just based on time in the field. But it's become part of the algorithm again to make it show up on the front page. So again, this is all something to keep in mind on our keywords. And I hope everybody, let me see if we got a few more questions here. How do you know if you have to pay for an image or not? Good question. How do you know? Usually what I do, I'll just go back and do this one more time. Image of barn house. And I'll click on images. And if I can find one, any of these kinds of images like this, and you can see, I mean, the stuff that's here is gorgeous. But some of these things you'll see will have a watermark on here. And if there's a watermark there, it means that you can't use it. They're usually pictures like this that are really great pictures. And this is on somebody's website. And what I usually do is I click through the keyword to look at the website, and then I right-click on it and I save image as. And when I save it as a PNG image. All right, this one doesn't have anything on it, but let me just real quick see if I can find one that does, to show you a comparison. I just tried to pick a keyword where I thought I might get a lot of things, but so far I don't see one. You'll see a watermark right on the front of the keyword that tells you that it's owned by so-and-so. If you want to use it, you got to go here or you got to go there. So let's see if we can find one more keyword to do this with. Images of SEO. Let's try that. Okay, so you can see, I mean, this is just incredible. You would never think of having so much stuff available to you for images that you can use. I mean, this is great stuff on the internet. And still looking for one that has a watermark behind it. You can see there's a lot of stuff that's not going to get in your way. You're going to be able to use it. But a lot of times you'll see one that's really like these things right here. This image, this is part of a family of images. And a lot of times these are going to be images that you have to purchase. This one right now seems to be available. And the reason it's probably available is that this person bought this image and put it there. And I could rip it off and steal it and use it if I wanted to, which I don't. I'm not interested in doing that because that's not the image. But hopefully that answers your question about the watermark. Okay, Lee, does that make sense to you? Okay, cool. All right. If no one has any more questions, last chance to get a question in before we end the webinar. Anybody have a question that before I get out? Okay, I want to thank everybody for being here for the webinar today. I love doing this stuff. This is really what this is all about, and I think for us to be able to get together once a week for a half hour, sorry, a little bit more time today, and be able to get this put together, it always runs over, or probably will run over, because people have good questions and we work through. So this webinar is a wrap, and we will see you next week. Later.